I understand everyone's concerns. I want to start off with that, but I do think a lot of times, like, you guys as viewers tend to overstep boundaries, where like you don't understand the dynamics of my relationship with someone else, as well as I do, or the people I'm involved with do. For example, me and Aster and Ren are really good friends. I know them very well. There are a few people. Okay, I don't talk to everyone in NijiEN daily. Like, that's insane. 26 people every day, all the time is impossible, okay? I talk to like a select people daily, and it's people that I tend to be closer to, right? I literally talk to Ren, Aster, Scarlet, and Enna pretty much daily. Like, those are people I talk to pretty much every day. Ren and Enna especially. And so I think it's a little weird when people tend to act like we don't talk about stuff said on stream, off stream. So I've been getting a lot of comments. It's really prevalent on this recent episode that I am either like too mean to my friends, or I'm encouraging viewers to be mean to my friends, yada yada yada. And I just want to say, I honestly don't think I am that mean. Okay, like, I don't really think I'm being mean spirited toward my friends at all. I never say any of my like jabs or jokes in malice. It's solely in fun, and I talk to them literally the same way off stream as I do on stream. Okay, maybe I'm a little nicer to them off stream because we'll talk about more serious stuff, but like in general I'm the same, and they're fine with it off stream and they're fine with it on stream. And I saw some people saying like I was either too mean to Ren or Aster or whatever, and I was like worried that maybe I was. And this happened in the Aluna Gang Meets collab as well. People were like, oh, like, Kel won't leave people alone, whatever. And most people are fine. Most people find it entertaining. It's fine. But I did get some stuff where it's like, oh, like, they think I'm being mean. I can't be nice, whatever. And if you see me like talk to other people, I will adjust like my levels. Oh shit, my face frozen. I will adjust my levels of like how like cutthroat my humor is depending on who I'm with. Okay, and I tend to be the most cutthroat and blunt and like kind of roasty with the people I'm closest to, and that's why I do it a lot with Aluna and a lot with Ren, Aster, and Enna. And like in the one collab we did with like Gartic Phone, I was the punching bag of everyone's joke too, and I didn't care, right? Because like I'm used to it and they're used to it, and it's fine. So yeah, everyone is fine. Like, I literally asked Ren, Aster, and same with the Aluna collab, I asked them off stream if they thought there was any like issues or whatever, and they were like, no, like, I don't know. I feel like they kind of mutually were like, nah, like, don't worry about it, like, we're fine. If we have a problem, we'll tell you. And I was like, okay, cool. Because I never want there to be a situation where they feel like what's the term, where they feel like they can't be honest with me about stuff I've said on stream. And so literally like everyone, and I also dislike how during the podcast people in the chat were like, oh, like X person is being quiet at X time, like when there were just two of us talking and one of us not talking. That tends to be how it is when two people are engaged in a subject matter and the other person doesn't want to interrupt, or maybe the third person doesn't have much to add to the topic. Like, not every person, or not all three of us in every collab are going to talk the same amount, because it depends on what the subject matter is. And I think when viewers assume that there's something wrong, or that someone's being quiet because of some reason, it's normally like it doesn't track and isn't like the most accurate, and it can cause like not only the person who's being quiet to be frustrated, because like it's almost like people are telling you you're quiet, you feel like you need to talk now, and you're like, why do people think I'm being quiet? Or like they think something's wrong, so I should talk so people don't think it's wrong. It like makes it weird for that person and makes it weird for everyone else who's talking, because then they're like, oh, like should we like switch the subject? Like, I just think like it will, most of the time, most people are fine with most of the stuff that happens, and if they're not, we talk about it. But so far I've never had an issue with anyone, in a Luna or in a, at all. I do, however, think that I wasn't the biggest fan of how everyone in chat conducted themselves during the collab. And this is another thing I wanted to address, like attached to that. So I'm known for like jabbing my friends, roasting them, whatever. I don't like I said, I don't want to just be the one that's roasting people all the time. Like I just tend, it's just hard when I am like more oriented that way and everyone else around me isn't like, doesn't have the same exact, I guess, bantery level as me, right? So that it just seems a little odd. Like I'm almost like too on everyone's ass. That's why I really like collabing with Enda, because we're on each other's ass equally, right? So I have seen in the podcast chat, I wasn't paying attention to it during the live because I was talking to Ren and Aster. Like I'm not like gonna fully immerse myself in chat, right? Because I was talking to Ren and Aster. And I saw some comments on like Twitter, and even someone posted it in the YouTube comments that I was that like people in chat were being disrespectful toward Ren and Aster. Upon rewatching the VOD, like I saw it a little bit. But I don't want you guys to use me bantering with Ren and Aster as your justification for genuinely shitting on Ren and Aster. Like, just because I say Ren's shorts sucked ass, okay, or that Aster's feet cam stream was a little quirky, okay, does not mean you guys are like, oh, well, like, you know, if Joe doesn't like this, and this, I'm gonna go hate on. Like, don't do that. I don't think that's cool. And I do think that there are a lot of people that do that. Not a lot. There are people that do that, and I see it a lot amongst me and other people in Aluna. There are a lot of people that use me like taking shots at people in a joking manner as like a genuine justification for their shitty actions, or hating on like my fellow gen mates. And this has been going on for a while. It just kind of hit like an apex yesterday where like it actually started to bother me. And so I just want you to know, like, I don't condone that at all. Like, there's the thing where like, if you know someone and you were to call them a bitch and you know they're fine with it, you guys will just think it's funny and it's a thing between you guys. But if someone, random person, were to walk up to your friend and call them a bitch after you call them a bitch, just because they saw you call them a bitch, you would be like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you don't know them, right? So like, that's what I think, like, that's the best example I could take into like sort of like boundaries and sort of things. And I don't want me to be the example or justification for why you guys talk badly about my friends. And I think, like I said, I don't think like I think it's reasonable that you don't have to like everyone in Aluna from an entertainment standpoint. You don't have to find everyone entertaining in Niji Ian. You don't. That's it. Like, I think that's unreasonable. I don't think you should be required to watch all 26 members. The reason there's so many people in Niji Sanji is so you can find someone that you genuinely like, and so there's a more of a variety to pick from, rather than you like trying to watch everyone because you like certain aspects of one person and not certain aspects of another. Like, you don't, and you also don't have to have one person you watch. You can watch multiple people. Like, you can watch whoever the fuck you want. But I don't think just because you don't like someone, that means that, or you don't like their content, that means you can use me making a roasty joke towards them as justification for shitting on them as a person, or like negatively talking about them at all. Because I never do it with negative intent at all. It's always out of love. That's why I would not be spending so much time with them if I actually did not like them. And I also don't roast people or poke fun of people that I know can't handle it. Like, I just don't. That's why when I collab with, like, for example, like I've done stuff with like Rosemi or stuff like that, I just don't want to roast them because I just feel like it just doesn't seem right, right? Or like Maria, I like to be nicer to her because that's just how it is. So I just think the reason, especially everyone in Luna, is so like quote unquote unhinged with each other is because we're really comfortable with each other, because we talk to each other a lot off stream. We're always hanging out in Discord calls. I think even like Pomo and Enna talked about it on one of Pomo's streams before, and like it's true. So I just think like overall, I would just prefer if you guys wouldn't use what I say as justification for attacking anyone in my gen, or like being antis to anyone in my gen because you think they're beneath me in some way, which I think is ridiculous. Like I said, we're all entertainers at the end of the day. Not everyone is gonna be your cup of tea. We're entertainers. Like, you're not gonna, like, no one expects you to like every TV show on like Nickelodeon, for example, right? Think of that as the same way Niji Sanji. Like, you don't have to like every streamer, but that does not mean you have to actively dislike them either. And I feel like honestly, I'm giving this whole conversation too much energy and thought. But it's been going on for really long. And it's not like super prevalent, but it's enough that it bothers me, you know? And I also never want you guys to like attack any of my gen mates on my behalf if you think they said something offensive to me, because most of the time I do not give a fuck. Okay, I can dish it and take it equally. I don't care. I have friends off stream that say way worse to me. Okay, like I'm used to it. But I also think you guys also need to know that you cannot banter with my gen mates the same way I do, because you're not me, right? You're not me. They don't know you that as well as I know them. So I don't think it's reasonable for you guys to treat them like like you do, you know? Oh my god, my headphones, bro, I have a really whack headphone cords. I'm hearing shit in one ear right now and it's fucking me up. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Clippers, if you want to clip this, I don't give a fuck. Okay, I do not care. Do what you want. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening to me. Be serious. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't gonna address this, but like I talked to it over with others and they're like, yeah, you can talk about it if you want, and I was like, okay, bet.